the second Zolval's left nipple as a raid wing came out, I would be sacked. So
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
yeah, welcome back to Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of War. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast with 3 opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hello.
Yeah, I am having a hard time talking tonight.
Huh?
I don't know why. Got some interesting news that leaked, and it's unconfirmed.
What's that?
There was.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's interesting, right?
Oh, I don't know what it is. So it's interesting right now, but after you say it, it'll probably be less interesting.
I don't think so. It was a.
No, I don't think
it's
so
a
either.
screen grab from a potentially internal document that has a bunch of launch dates, including Diablo 4, as well as Dragonflight. It looks. I mean, it's got some COD stuff in there, Call of Duty stuff. And I think there's a little bit of the fact that the pre-patch stuff for Lich King Classic is on here. I think that was actually confirmed pretty recent as the pre-patch stuff starting August 30th, which I don't know what the fuck a pre-sale is for, unless it's like just like a sale if you don't have it or have the game right now, you can get like a cheap sub or something.
For what?
It says WoW Classic, Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch and pre-sale. So I don't.
Yeah. So remember they did the thing last year as well.
Oh, the collector stuff, where you because you got the imp and the ball and stuff like that for BC Classic
in the boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I understand that now. But
Boost I never used.
I got 2 boosts right now. I don't use on my level. But it's looking like Dragonflight pre-patch is looking to be October 25th with a global launch on November 28th, potentially.
Huh.
Which is right around Thanksgiving, which is kind of what I think I said at the beginning.
Oh no, that misses Thanksgiving completely. Why would they do that? I mean, I don't care about their well-being, but my vacation though.
Yeah, it's after, and they. So I guess with some of that being leaked or whatever, there has been a lot of feedback and discussion regarding the launch date and rating over the holidays. Which Blizzard posted a blue post that was pretty short, but it just says that they appreciate the discussion and feedback, and when the time comes for them to announce a release date, they'll share the details on the initial raid season schedule. So, with it coming out at the end of November, I can't imagine the first raid dropping until maybe after New Year's, if they're going to not have raiding over the holidays.
I would hope that they would do it after.
I'm not sure.
Isn't it like
2 weeks? Something like that for
it's
regular?
like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But Mythic is like a week later after that, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty much at the first of the year at that point, right? That's like the only one that really matters anyways.
Well, that would be right at Christmas, I think, would be if it was like 3 weeks. Because, I mean...
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
So, but, I mean, just push it back. I mean, if it's over the holiday, especially if there's going to be a lot of side stuff to do, especially with like the crafting stuff in there, there's going to be stuff to do. It's not like everybody's going to race.
That would be kind of cool if they did that. Like if there was just don't start the raids until like the first of the year.
Or like after.
And just give us a month of
whatever.
good old pure.
hopefully there's a month worth of stuff to do. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Uh,
That would be a terrible situation.
because
Right.
well, I mean that's common, right? Like they put stuff in, people hurry to get to 60. Like you're or I guess 70.
Max level.
Yeah, max level. I mean, to the point where it's a couple of days, really a week at most, and then they start doing all that stuff. So I mean, they'd have to really put some stuff that's in there, or either slow the leveling down so that you can't do it super fast, but make it still enjoyable. Well, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, it's like you can either artificially.
It's tough. They just,
Yeah.
if the fact is, if there's just not enough to do within a month before it starts, then they already failed. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, again,
but that's fine. I mean, I think it's still going to be so new that that would be perfectly fine. Versus, you couldn't do that with a patch or anything, because shit's already old at that point.
yeah, yeah, you can push off release stuff like that, but as long
Or
as
hell, even stage out the bosses, right? That would be interesting if they just stayed, or even had smaller raids,
well,
like
kind of like they did with
you know.
Sepulchre, or the first ones. Like the first week it was out, you could only do up through Anduin. You couldn't do the last couple of
Oh.
bosses,
Yeah, I don't know, something.
and
like
that could be because that was a potentially combined raid, because they were doing whatever, and like everybody talks about how Anduin really feels like an end raid boss. Just that fight is pretty rough, and it's a good end of the raid type boss, and how like there might have been another raid after that they kind of just combined to get done with stuff. I don't know. I think that if they really have fleshed out progressions to the point where they're engaging and stuff like that, then there'll be stuff to do, or if they're putting in any, I don't know, if maybe Dragonflight will have some stuff that you can work towards unlocking, just something to do. So yeah, that's it's kind of unconfirmed leak stuff, but
you know what they should really do? They should put attunement items in dungeons again, but make them like 3% chance drop and buy no pickup.
like attunement for what? Like raids?
To get into the raid, yeah, like in Karazhan, you used to have to get a piece from one dungeon and another dungeon, I think, or 3 dungeons to get the key to be attuned to it to get in.
I don't
Like
remember.
Molten Core, you had to be, or no,
Molten Core you did. You had to be attuned to get into Molten Core.
yeah, Kara had a key at the very beginning of it. They eventually took it away.
Yeah.
But you had to do a quest that required you to go through like Shadow Labs, Steam Vaults maybe, and something else. Arcatraz, maybe. But they're long ass dungeons, so like to get keyed was like,
It took some
if you
time.
pugged it was like 4 hours.
I would be okay with
But
them.
then put 3% chance drop on it, right?
Well,
Then you'll have people playing for up to the point that they quit. So I don't
yeah,
know.
that might be. I mean, I could see making a quest line to do some stuff and to farm stuff. I wouldn't maybe make it that low. You know what I mean?
of course not.
But that would. 'cause
No,
that
but
would
something
really-
more interesting would be, it'd be kind of cool if something was tied more to it. Oh, hell, even if we had dungeons that were directly tied to the raid, like Lich King was at the very end there. Oh, hell, even some of them were fairly. They're just more relevant, and maybe you go do stuff in those. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm scared.
It would have been cool
designing.
if they would have done some cool dungeons, like kind of what you were just saying, kind of fleshing out like the jailer, right? Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm still what?
I just had a great idea. Keep going. 'Cause-
No,
I'm gonna drop this. This is gonna be good.
Yeah,
It's
all
something
right,
about
why-
fleshing. So-
Okay.
No.
She talked about fleshing stuff out. She talked about the jailer. I imagined, I don't know if you're familiar with, I think it's Fantastic Voyage, the books and or the movie, where they get in a ship and they shrink down and they go inside somebody's body. It would be neat to have a dungeon
Wasn't
like
it the magical school bus?
Oh, they did that there too.
Like
but the
inner
Fantastic
space.
maybe, but I'm pretty sure like the original one was like the Fantastic Voyage, and it was like a sci-fi. I don't know if it was Bradbury or something like that. I'd have to look it up. It's been a while, but like, and she's talking about, and she said the jailer, and I go, you could have wings of this giant mega dungeon. You could have like the left nipple and the right nipple.
Oh my god. You know, let it be known that I said nothing about nipples.
You didn't have to. We've talked about the jailer's nipples multiple times and about how they are just completely in your face until the very end.
They should really, you know how they did Deathwing's scale?
Spine
like,
of Deathwing.
Yeah. Like they should put his nipples.
Oh, the nipples
one
of
for each
nipples of the jailer.
faction. Yeah. Just hang them there in the
One
middle
for
of town.
each faction.
They should make. Okay. Let's think about this,
Oh,
right?
no.
I know this is a great
Let's
concept.
just ride this one right off
No,
the rails.
this is completely different. But you just talked about having, a different side for each faction, right? Now I know that they're kind of getting away from they allow instance crossplay, but that doesn't mean that the stories necessarily have to be separate. You know what I mean? So you could have, when we did the Broken Shore, the initial Broken Shore, the Horde goes one way up the hill, and then the Alliance, I'm pretty sure, go the other way down at the bottom, and we're trying to get the high ground and all that stuff, right? When Gul'dan kills Varian and all that stuff, like the Horde, when as Horde, we storm the beach and we go a different route than the Alliance does, right? The Alliance went a different route. What if there was a dungeon or scenario or a raid instance where you had kind of like the boss in BFA, the Golem boss, where you had to have split the raid and go two different routes to get to him through the different trap rooms, but have like a dungeon or something like that where you had to go like do objectives and stuff like that, like together, almost like a PvP map, but like you're not working against each other, you're working together to do different things, but you're split up into different groups, kind of thing. That would be interesting.
That would be really cool. You should be a raid designer, Jim. My goodness.
Then no, I would probably the second Zolval's left nipple as a raid wing came out, I would be sacked. So
yeah.
I mean, you never
plus
know.
they do their rounds for like balancing and mythic racing and stuff, then I would just quit at that point.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But
No.
yeah, something like that, because then that would also start erasing some of the stigma of Alliance versus Horde. It would kind of help get back to where they were in, I think we joined kind of forces in Cataclysm. Mist, it was faction again. Except at the very end when they just made Garage the big bad. And then Legion, we worked together for the most part. And then BFA, they were bad, and at the end it was pretty much all Sylvanas' fault and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think that would be interesting.
I mean, it's probably not anymore with the time skip, right? Like she's made amends.
Well, we don't know if how big the time skip is going to be, whether it's going to be like we come back and then it's like 6 months later kind of thing, or if it's like we come back and time has progressed while we've been gone.
5 years later.
That was what I was. Yeah.
But so I don't know the nature of it because I'm trying to avoid story spoilers because
I know it's tough.
It is tough. It's tough when you want to experience it fresh, but there's nothing but data mined stuff out there that people are just.
I mean, the whole damn game's out there right now, isn't it? Like,
I even saw something where they may have potentially data mined stuff for 10.1.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Like, so there's like an indication of where the story's going, and it's stuff. So I know that there's going to be some.
We don't even know what the story is yet.
Well, but that's what I mean. But people do kind of know some of the story because of the alpha and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
Insane, man.
yeah, I don't know. I like to go in and experience it as fresh as possible. But I also want to go in there and I want to play with the class. I want to go in and get a feel for the new trees and the new Death Knight builds and stuff like that and mess around with it.
I won't lie, more and more I am excited about that aspect of it because we really haven't had that freshness.
It's going to be different. It's going to feel weird because we've only had, what do we have, like 7 rows of talents right now, and you just pick between 3, so you really only have like 20 something talents to choose from.
And do you really pick?
And
Like,
yes, some of them are just, you don't even, there's no
you
contest.
can't.
You
You
can.
can't get them.
Well, it's
You
like
can,
so
but
like-
there are clear winners.
No, like the interface stops you from getting them because they already know they're useless.
no. Well,
You sure you want to get that? You
well,
noob?
this week has been particularly gracious to me in the game because I got quite a few upgrades, enough so that, and I did the first thing, got the first dinar coin or whatever that you can use to go buy weapons, trinkets, and rings from all 3 of the raids at like a normal fated level. And so I was able to get the gavel of the first arbiter, the jailer's mace, 2-handed mace.
Mhm.
And I had enough other items that I got from the vault, doing some dungeons and stuff like that, that it made sense to switch to a 2-handed blip build. So I'm no longer running breath.
No more fish.
No more fish. No more dual wielding right now,
Wow.
which has not been a thing since I got the damn fish in BFA.
Yeah.
Like the minute I got,
Miss those fish.
yeah. But
Was it BFA? It wasn't Legion?
it was BFA because that's when it was an island drop.
Oh.
Now,
okay.
granted, I've been dual wield Frosty Cave for quite a while. I don't think, a 2-wheeled. It was a motorcycle Frosty Cave.
2-wheeled.
But it's just because I never cared for it. But this actually doesn't feel, but it obviously it sims higher. It's weird because the play style is slower because 2-handers swing slower, so it doesn't feel as responsive to what I'm used to. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a new feel.
Hmm.
So, is what it is. It'll be whatever. It's fine. But that's the weapon that has the neat thing on it where you use it and it rips a soul fragment out of the target. You kill it and you get a buff, and it's like there's a couple of random buffs or whatever. The weapon has no secondary stats on it at all because I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's
Because it's got
it's got the buffs that you
Yeah.
get. You get a buff for a minute, but it's on like a 4-minute or a 5-minute cooldown.
I mean, is it worth?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
You save it for bosses, obviously.
Is
Does
it
it
an
do an
unused
animation
thing?
Yes.
It's not a random proc. It's just
Nope, it's not a random proc.
Oh,
It
that's
is a
good.
use. So you control it.
Okay.
So it's interesting. And it's just like, I just remember when that raid was coming out and we were looking at all the weapon stuff and we saw the damn thing and it's got the fucking alien thing that comes out its mouth, like the chain to rip the soul out. It's pretty cool.
So what did you have to do to get the dinar? What
So
was that?
Finish the 30.
you kill the
Quest.
30 fated raid bosses.
Yeah.
Which
In any difficulty?
any difficulty.
Yeah.
I do it on LFR. So there's 31 bosses, which means that, and you only get credit for killing
The faded
a
ones.
boss once. So if you kill it in LFR, you can't go kill it in normal and get another credit for it. It's just like a loot lockout for a raid tier, but it's just
For
a thing.
that quest.
for that week. So
if you kill the first boss, oh no, it's only in the faded raids. So
yes.
Okay.
So you can't go back and do it. So if you miss any, this is why I'm doing it in LFR, to have guaranteed kills, because the first 2 raids have 10 bosses each. The last one is 11.
And we've only done 8 of the first 2.
Right.
So we're missing 4 bosses.
Right.
Basically, you just get something free every 3 weeks.
No, the first one is 3 weeks. The second quest is 15. So
Weeks?
No, 15 bosses.
Oh, boss. Okay.
15 weeks.
No, the whole
My good
point.
Lord.
The whole point of it, it's
That's some time gating.
yeah, it's a bad luck protection kind of thing. So it's like after 3 weeks, if you didn't get a weapon, a ring, or a trinket, if you didn't get a twinket,
Twinket.
Those twinkets.
the phone.
I love those
Oh,
twinkets.
gotta get them Twinkets.
Yeah. But if you didn't get one, you can buy it, and then. But they're also reducing the number of bosses to kill as time goes on, so that if people come back later, it's kind of like the creation catalyst, right? It took 7 or 8 days for the first.
That just reminded me. I have like 37 charges in the
Yeah.
creation catalyst to
Right.
use up.
It would be like when it first came out, it was like every 8 days you got a charge, and then it would slowly drop down to now to the point where we don't use it.
I will say I'm glad. I'm glad that they accumulate and they didn't cap them like what they normally would probably have done. It would have been like, oh, well, let's cap them and you can only have 10 at a time and blah, blah, blah.
You can only have 3 dinar.
Oh, like the conduits? Well...
Yeah, but I mean, if the
you
things
won't
are
get
just
them,
one, are the items just
The
one?
creation
piece,
catalyst
or...
doesn't matter, though, at that point. Like,
it does.
It does, because you can still
use it.
upgrade. You can still upgrade your stuff.
Oh, I know, but it's still going to, like... The charges aren't going to matter because you're not going to use it enough to matter.
But potentially.
Or
Well,
something.
no, because we're doing all these things, and you can, if you get lucky, you can get, like a full 4-piece upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't have...
Did they fix your issue, though?
No.
Okay, no, but I did end up getting 278 pants out of the vault. So it's pointless because they were 272. I didn't push the issue because... So, okay. So I don't remember if I talked about this. The first week that faded, when season 4 started, I did LFR. I got pants off the Stone General that were an upgrade, but they weren't recognized by the creation catalyst. And, the second week comes around and I get a helm from that faded raid from Sanctum of Domination. And this is an LFR piece, and it is recognized by the catalyst. So I opened a ticket. I said, hey, what's the deal with this? Blah, blah, blah.
What's the dealio?
This is the item I got. It won't work. I have another item that's the same level, same status as an LFR faded piece or whatever, but it works. I get the canned response back saying that the creation catalyst is for season 3 pieces, blah, 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 blah. It's all these pieces, yada, yada, yada. And all this other canned bullshit. And I'm just like, I come back and I'm like, I understand how the creation catalyst works.
It was very funny.
Season 3 ended 2 weeks ago. So none of the information you provided is valid anymore.
He even sent them screenshots.
They don't have a script for that, okay?
Get the fuck out of here. That is the copy paste bullshit I've ever
It was copy paste.
Don't you leave.
They even sent them.
Jen.
He even sent
By the
them
way.
screenshots.
I sent screenshots indicating, and I turned off all my add-ons
see
so that I could have the default UI, so they couldn't say, "Oh, well, try disabling your add-ons or redo your UI."
That's where you messed up. You confused them.
Yeah, they
By
didn't
giving
have
them
the
a default
process.
UI?
They didn't have the
Now
process
have
to
the
go
loop.
through. They have a process. So it's funny that after Jim got back his response, he was like, it would be fine if they just told me that there's bugs and that blah, blah, blah. And then he gets back the next response, and what did they say?
They basically said, yeah, it's a known issue. There's an issue with certain items that aren't working correctly. We're working on it, and we don't have an ETA for the fix and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. If they had come back with that at first, I'd been like, okay, you know what? I get it. It's because I understand that shit. You know, it's
Right.
but that at least indicates that they read the ticket, understood the issue, and addressed the issues. Because that's how customer service is supposed to work. You're not supposed to do a keyword search and just do a search in your canned response and paste it, because that's what fucking happens.
I feel like we at least knew somebody that was really good at that. Like,
oh yeah, we work with people like that. Come on, I understand.
I mean, but that's the thing that pisses you off, right? You could be a perfectly reasonable person and be like, "Oh hey," and then they completely don't read your ticket at all. And you're like, how did you miss, you know, like, how did you miss the point so much? Like, that was why I kept pushing the issue with the PvP gear that I got.
Yeah, you bought a PvP set, you tried it on, it looked one way, you got it, and it didn't
was
give you that.
else.
It didn't give you that appearance.
But like the whole chain, the whole chain was basically them not reading my ticket,
especially when they called you Paul,
and especially when they call me Peter. My name is Peter. Yes.
Damn, really?
Yeah,
They fuck up that bad.
Yes, they fucked up really. Like, I can show you the emails.
She kept them
like,
all.
I kept them all, and I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me?" Like, it was the worst customer service I have ever had, and I've had some pretty bad customer service.
They low key called her a dick.
Low key called me a dick. Yes, yeah, it was unbelievable. I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me?" And then finally, a supervisor stepped in and was like, "Oh, well, we'll just, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, that's all I wanted was you just to refund me. Just refund me the goddamn appearance piece. Like, that's it. Just give me the currency back. Take the appearance away. Boom. Done. Ugh. It was an ordeal.
The problem is people don't want to do work, and it's easy to respond to a ticket and hit send rather than actually go into the system and do
it's metrics, man. What are you talking about? Of course.
Yeah, because you can do that with the majority of people, and it's the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And so out of 100 people...
You don't oil wheels, you put grease on the bearings.
Oh my God.
Because oil will just...
That is a saying.
I oil my tires every day. Are you kidding me?
It's a saying.
It's squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops. Okay. Anyway, oh hey.
That's the title. Oh hey, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Squeaky wheel gets the oil. I legitimately thought it was oil. That's how much it's a good thing I don't oil.
She likes to light them
wheels.
tires up, don't she?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So they're just banking on somebody just saying okay, and they can just move on.
Yeah, somebody.
But I'm not an okay kind of person.
Somebody was sitting there at their desk, scouring the tickets for things that looked super easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Click.
They're like, okay, I see words in there. All I have to do is just tell them how this works with this old, outdated data. Because, I mean, if you're a GM of this game, you really should know the significant dates and when patches come out and when, like, something like Season 4 starts and all that stuff. And you know what I mean? It's like, because this wasn't like...
They should really know that there's cheap AI bots that they can actually just use. It's much cheaper than humans to do the same exact thing.
Reddit has it, right? But you just get some AI and just have it read all your ticket responses and just have it generate ticket responses. That would be hilarious.
You'd be surprised how much more accurate bots probably could be.
Oh yeah. They would, because they would look at
if they trained bots on their knowledge base. I would be willing to bet that bots could easily solve people's problems.
Do you know why? Because the bots would read the entire fucking ticket.
Yeah. Yes. Somebody at Blizzard is failing at hiring people who actually can read. And
I mean, it really is
true. They need to take one of those tests.
Well, even in most cases, it's probably, unfortunately, like it's probably going to be like
you have to do so many tickets.
Cultural differences.
Oh, of course it is.
Right?
Oh, if they shipped it out to different areas too, like
because even
also
even if they can read English, they don't comprehend it like the same way. They just can't they can't get they don't have sarcasm in certain areas.
Right.
Of the world.
If you have English as a second language,
right?
Yeah. Well, we have English as not even a first language. It's like this. There's a secondary part of the English that no one understands in the South.
It's a speed thing too, probably. Yes, what you were saying. They're they have to have, which is, I think that is absolutely a super shitty thing to have in customer service. Like, that's a horrible metric to have. You should strive to solve people's problems, not complete so many tickets. And it drives me nuts.
But a completed ticket is a solved problem.
It's not, though.
In the metrics, it is.
But it's not. You could...
because they mark it as resolved, right? Indicating that, well, I've provided you the answer to this. It's resolved. Right, and if you don't reopen it, that counts as a solution. You resolved their problem, even though, like, there should be surveys for after that. Did this fix your issue, or whatnot, kind of thing. But I guess that's what reopening it's for. But no, it's not. But that doesn't mean that's not how the systems view it. The systems shouldn't view it that way. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
they should not be a part of the. How many tickets did you solve?
No, you're absolutely right. You should not be graded on the amount of work you do. It should be the quality.
Yes.
Now, the quality shouldn't, but you can't just be like, well, because then you get people that just do one ticket a day or take 2 days to do one ticket.
But if you're solving that one person's problem and you get it done and they are a happy camper, that's one happy camper that you have.
But if you do that, and that problem really should only take 2 hours max to do, now you got people that are just drawing stuff out because you don't have any time metric on it, so now you got people drawing things out and getting less work done. So that is a problem for a business. Right?
So it's all dirty.
There should be a certain time window. Like, it's like when Brian and I worked and we did IT support and all that stuff. It's like, when certain types of tickets come in, you had to at least respond to it within a certain amount of time. That doesn't mean you solved it, but you've picked it up, you've engaged, you responded to it and say, hey, okay, I'm going to take a look at this, or hey, can we set up a meeting to do all this? You started it, right? So that's kind of important to have that initial start, but just replying to it, because one, it took them like 2 or 3 days to even respond to the damn thing, which I don't think they got that many fucking tickets they got to go through. Either that or they only got 5 people working in it, and like maybe the second person that responded was the same person and they just changed their fucking name. Maybe like they all have like multiple accounts so they can act like, oh, here's a person that actually is a different name and is helping you. I don't know, that would be really fucked up, but I don't know. Anyway, we're getting way
off topic.
way out in the weeds.
We're just
about that shit. It just sucks because not having, good
customer service.
Yeah, is pretty bad. So let's see. So this past Tuesday was patch 927, which was basically just like the auction house merger for consumables and adding the secondary trade channel for services. Blizzard posted a new thing regarding the new advertisement policy for boosting and carrying services. If you aren't posting in that new channel, it's considered spam. So like if you're it's absolutely.
You aren't posting.
So they added a new trade channel called Trade Services. So
where you post RMT stuff, not RMT.
Yeah.
Okay, but where they're probably posting RMT stuff.
Well,
but it's
people will post that stuff
because
in there,
people are buying gold with real money to purchase those services. Don't get it twisted. That is happening.
Well, no, but they've already put in that you can only you can only advertise for carries on your server group. Like, you have to actually be part of the guild that's doing it. It can't be like...
You have to be part of the guild that's doing it? Or part of the server?
Well, you have to be on the server. I'm pretty sure you have to be...
So you have to join somebody's guild?
No, to advertise for him.
The
The person offering the service has to be either... See. It can't just be you go to a different server and you're doing it, but like everybody is on a different server or server group or whatever. It's all has to be in game within a regular thing, people that you can normally group up with and stuff like that. You know, so I mean that's already in place, and now they're just funneling it all into a different channel, so that way we can still have the trade chat and we can still have, you know, all the garbage that comes in the regular trade chat where you link your skills and follow it with anal. You don't remember all that stuff?
I do, but
you know,
that was just...
Wincing or bless, or what was it?
That was just some really funny timing, because I was reading the chat in Final Fantasy and they're talking about porn.
Yeah, okay. I don't give a shit. This is a WoW podcast. Keep that shit out of here.
And
keep their anal to themselves.
And then you were talking about anal, and so I was like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
No, that was just like, you know, people post all this stupid thing. I don't know if that was necessarily a trade or just map chat, general chat.
Just regular general.
But
like
that's Jim's online chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my OnlyFans page. So, I did do something today that I had been working on. I finally got the flawless master for layer 16s in Torghast.
I forgot Torghast exists.
You just had this look on your face, and you're just like, what are you talking about?
I'm thinking through everything. I'm like, the first thing I thought of was the mask run in BFA.
The mask.
The last thing that we had, last patch, where you go into the visions.
Oh.
Yeah. I have no idea why that came to my mind over Torghast. I don't know if that says anything, but gosh.
No, I got all of them. And like, I had been trying the last couple of days, I'd go in and do it, and it was just a fucking pain in the ass. But today, I just went in his blood and just mowed through 2 of them. And then the last one, it took me 3 tries to finally get a flawless on it. But
I'm surprised they don't send you like a coffee mug or something, since you're like the only one playing Torghast.
I got a mount. But that led me...
Oh, did you get the kitty yet, then?
No, that's... No. You have to do... the faded bosses have to be killed on normal or higher to get the Sir Jigglesworth Senior. So...
Butt monkeys.
So, when we, in 3 weeks, when we go back to Sanctum of Domination, we're going to do the last 2 bosses, and then we'll reset it and go back and start working on the first one, because I know you missed a week. So, we'll have to go back and do some of those, because you weren't there for those kills. So, I mean, obviously...
Oh, I don't.
No,
I actually don't care that much.
That mount's pretty fucking badass.
It is cool, but I'm not a... Yeah, I'm not...
I mean, you could probably pug it, too. You can probably find it.
I don't really care.
No, I mean, but we'll do it. But, so, yeah, getting that stuff, or that achievement, or whatever, led me down... I forgot that there was, like, that meta achievement, Back from the Beyond. It gives you a, I think, Veil Walker title. And it's got a bunch of, like, meta achievements or whatever to do. So, I actually have a goal again, which is weird. And I don't know what to do with that. But
slap anal on it, put it in trade chat.
Yep. Once I finish the a couple more Torghast things, I'll get the titled Tower Ranger.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Tower Ranger.
Like Power Ranger. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Well, there's also the achievement. It's like walking in Moffus, which is pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I did today. So I got real excited when I did it, and I clapped real loud, and Chris was like, "Rah!" Okay. Let's see. Yep, they hot fixed a bunch of the Mythic Plus dungeons earlier this week. Did a bunch of stuff to kind of tame down some of the damage and stuff like that, because obviously Kara Lower and Kara Upper have been kind of rough with certain mobs and or certain affixes that they can just be a pain in the ass. Not easy at all. But they did it. I did a 12 the other day. That was pretty fun.
Which one?
Streets, Tasserfez. Streets. Just kind of blew through it.
Really?
Yeah. It was a good pug group. You know, it's nice to get those from time to time. So it was like, yep, just kind of went in and did that. You know, didn't really have any problems at all, which was, it's always nice when you get that, you know. So, let's see. What else is going on? I mean,
Wrath pre-patch in like a week and a half.
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything. I don't know if I have a boost, maybe I'll boost a character, but if I can't make a Death Knight right away, I don't
care. Pre-patch, can you? Maybe not, actually.
I don't think you can.
So like it's a week of, what is it? It's a week of the zombie invasion crap, and then like I think it's the week prior to release they'll do the thing where you go collect stuff and get gear.
Yeah.
So, but like I don't, my highest level is 63, so which I won't even be playing. So my plan was just to boost a paladin and play that just to have a little bit of fun tanking, and that's it. But I will be playing Wrath. I think it'll be a good bridge to Dragonflight.
Yeah, it'll be something to do if you're not doing Mythic Pluses, or you're not trying to do like different things, you know, in live. I mean,
I just want to walk into the Howling Fjord and Grizzly Hills, blasting the speakers, man.
Those are some good zones, man.
They are great zones. Yeah.
Going through them now just isn't as much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, even if you're doing Chromie time, it's like you get to the point you do it and you've only done 2 or 3 of the zones before you're 50 and you're getting out of there.
Well, I will admit, like, played private server of Lich King. I played Classic before they released the Classic in retail, right? And that was really fun. And then I played Lich King one as well. And that actually probably was the funnest one I've ever played. So even going back, I know it's going to be, you know, just putting a little bit of time in it, it's going to be a good experience. So it'll be fun. Like, obviously, I'm not going to do anything crazy because I don't really care that much, but leveling up and just being there.
Yeah. It's
enough nostalgia to get me going.
Yeah. I know Guild Wars 2 is having their 10-year anniversary next week and stuff like that. So that's crazy that game came out 10 years ago. You know?
Oh, yeah. Did you play Guild Wars 1?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys play that?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if Kristen did.
I did.
We probably played a little bit of it. I mean,
I played a lot of it.
I don't think I played that much. I never played a lot of the end game stuff. Like, but I leveled a couple characters in it, and I bought it at one point, all the different expansions for it and whatnot. But that game is different, and the only reason
It was like click to move and stuff, wasn't it?
It was click to
Like
move.
that weird.
There was no vertical. You couldn't jump. You know, the nice thing about it was that the only thing that was not instanced was like the main city areas.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was really like the only place you would see people when you went and did missions and stuff. It was you and your party members or the mercenaries you took with you and stuff like that, and you just went out and did it. And like you'd go farm, you could farm elite skills and stuff like that, and you know it's like I think Guild Wars 2 was a really good iteration on the first one because it became more MMO like, but it also retained a lot of stuff from the first game, like your skill, like your main skills being based on the weapons you had equipped, and you could equip certain types, so you could have different builds based on the weapons you had, and they had weapon swapping, so you could hot swap in combat between two different weapon sets, so you'd have two sets of skills and stuff like that. And, you know, but they added like the jumping puzzles were amazing in that game. You know, like they made those good. You know, I don't know. That was good. But I don't know. You guys got anything else? Nope.
No.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Well, I think that's a pretty good place to go ahead and wrap things up, since it's still kind of the flood of alpha information from Dragonflight and not really much going on with the current live game, because it's probably pretty much just in coasting mode until the pre-patch event starts for Dragonflight. So just want to thank everybody for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/server-restart-in. Shoot us a tweet at server_restart. You don't have to worry about sending us your favorite fish anymore because I no longer use the fish. And you can, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.